You have to give people an opportunity to be introduced to the new version of who you are. This version of me has peace. I don't have time to be petty. This version of me doesn't gossip. I don't have time to be petty. This version of me doesn't care what other people think because I finally came to a place of peace. Peace is a weapon.
Understanding that he's not like us, we've been given mercy, for we are worthy of what we say. We are the value, and who's the price he paid when he laid it over for the love reigns supreme. In all things, in all ways, in Yahweh shall I trust in Jesus, where he surrendered his love, and greater was in me than me in this world. For the power of the divinity, for the Trinity, reigned eternity for him. His heart he said to be cheerful for me in his love, and to whom shall I fear, but whom should I trust before him, but whom love is greater than who sacrifice their life and suffer for the Lord's supper, my daily bread, the crumbs he led for me to follow. He do I walk in the valley of death, and I shall never fear death, and I shall not. And I'm saved by the breath of the blood, of the love, the dove, the spirit, the gospel, the Holy Ghost, the glory, the King and the supreme and the supernatural, the unseen and seen, whom I don't need believe, but whom I know and pursue, and store my treasures in his mansions, in his domain, my heart, his benevolence, his covenant, his truth, his peace, his salvation, his mercy, his will, his peace, his protection, his direction, his magnificent, omnipresent, sacred, his sacraments for this law, his grace, his faces, omnipotent for the beginning, and his name, his pain, his joy, his commandments, of the command, his rock, his house, his palm, his hands, his deliverance, his wisdom, his light, his might, his strength, his promise, not compromising, his water, his blood, his shield, for the faith is his. Your mercy endures with us forever, rather than now we understand he's just not like us. We've been given the mercy, for we are worthy of what we say. We are the value whose price he paid. Laid his love reigns supreme for all things. Yahweh shall I trust in Jesus, and this is where the surrender of love. Greater is in me than me in the world for his power. His divinity is his trinity for the reign, eternity for in the heart. For he said to be cheerful for me in this love with me. Whom should I fear but him? Whom should I trust before him? Whom love is greater than whom? Who sacrifice their life is suffered for the Lord. Supper my daily bread. Crumbs that he led. For me to follow him do I walk. In the valley of death, and I shall never fear. Death, and I shall know not. I'm saved by the breath of the blood, for the love of the dove, for the spirit, for the gospel, the Holy Ghost, and the glory, for the King is supreme, to the supernatural, the unseen, the seen, whom I don't need, believe, and whom I know. Pursue, store my treasures in his mansion, for the domain, for the heart, for the benevolence, for the covenant, for the truth, for the peace and salvation, for his mercy, his will, his peace, protection, direction, magnificent, omnipresent, sacred sacrament, for his law, grace, his face, omniscient, for the beginning and in his name is this pain, for his joy, commandments and the command, his rock, his house, his palm, his hands, his deliverance, his wisdom, his light, his mighty, his strength, his promise, not compromising, his water, his blood, shield, his faith, his name, his holy.
The smell of the rose dipped in the love for the rebirth of the garden, soiled with smiles of gratitude. The smell of the rose dipped in the love for the rebirth of the garden, soiled with smiles of gratitude and lighthearted stuff. The smell of the rose dipped in the love for the rebirth of the garden, the smell of the rose dipped in the love for the rebirth of the garden, soiled with smiles of gratitude and lighthearted stuff that completes orbits to galaxies, the voice like breeze in unventilated rooms, and the touch of subtle waters of the light that rays.
The smell of the rose dipped in the love for the rebirth of the garden, soiled with smiles of gratitude and lighthearted stuff that completes orbits to galaxies, the voice like breeze in unventilated rooms, and the touch of subtle waters of the light that rays. Photosynthesis for your royal golden days, for the bronze gratification, for the devalue, for the sacred gestures, for the longevity, for the future timetables, the greater the baby, the heaven again. The feeling that arise before she sent my heart to the blossom, the sight, the witness, the captivated, for the immediately swoon. Tiny animated environments of the words, meant to bring the color to black and white boards, for the time to kill the rise of the third eye was to claim the will called my name. A smell of the rose dipped in the love for the rebirth of the garden, soiled with smiles of gratitude and lighthearted stuff that completes orbits to galaxies, the voice like breeze in unventilated rooms, and the touch of subtle waters of the light that rays. The smell of the rose dipped in the love for the rebirth of the garden, soiled with smiles of gratitude and lighthearted stuff that completes orbits to galaxies, the voice like breeze in unventilated rooms, and the touch of subtle waters of the light that rays. Photosynthesis for your royal golden days, for the bronze gratification, for the devalue, for the sacred gestures, for the longevity, for the future timetables, the greater the baby, the heaven again. The feeling that arise before she sent my heart to the blossom, the sight, the witness, the captivated, for the immediately swoon. Tiny animated environments of the words, meant to bring the color to black and white boards, for the time to kill the rise of the third eye was to claim the will called my name. When my heart is beat up for the oppressed love and unexplained conflicts that complicate the date for the fate, or feet of the fragile, the petals to expedite your union to ours and yours, and maybe she'll convince the dandelions the truth. Congestion that was in its throat that couldn't blow out the wish to soar, the healing of the breath of the heirs of the kingdom for that will be done as came like a train for tracks to cross rail. Roads to trail by foot, but each measurement sure meant to be sure, to vow wild, silently for the now so louder flow. Like heard like flowers in windy days, or Wednesdays like this as memories fade into the noise of the poise of the provide, with the look of the eyes of the spies that cried when tried to die. Happy to straight the gate to pay for value, the fork of the goddess designed and aligned. Coexisted, co-signed the line that was crossed when sins lost the cost when Yahweh crosses the heart. Be exalted for the carrying the false that shook the groundwork to the love of the valley of the shadows. Light work that didn't break the sweat, but sweet enough to task the axe to treat the heat to beat it. Rather than the tongue with this, the better for the bitter thoughts that was the call to release the words of the pain. Sight of the eyes of the witness to testify the passive, the quest to answer the belief, the stretch divine, and suspend your gravity for the weeks to weekend, the picnics to beer. Kicks the grass to barefoot like keychain. Charms for the arms, the talisman for the shortcoming that took long to provide the rays in the area that aren't arranged to articulate the time, the calculation, the collisions. We're no accident, but a relative to the Einstein's theory, not for the weary tested eyes, dotted for the crossing of the T's and the teams stretched out like blind hunters of the mug your depression. finger pressed nerves to stress the verbs of the vine. For confessing of the words of the message that was scribed and with the Messiah for the message of Asia. This is a mess. Misogyn males, misogynistic for the stamp to center for the return to red. This bloody transmission to translate the fiction to quick to fret. Petitioner with the pet peeves to deceive. Believers to proceed without the water for the life, and the right on to the draw the conclusions and decisions. For the television ain't true, the system will give you a book to program to misguide. Tune out of the idols and to meet the ideologies that apologize. Repetitively oblivious with the contagious repetition of patterns, and look back into the distractions to detract the narcissism for the wisdom that will work. Much to the compound words of the oxymoronic dumb lines, I advise your advert. Curve to the nerve to swerve the curves of this gutter to the climax and maximize the circumstances for they circumcise the pineal glands that gladly glory gladiators to electrify, to rectify the vibe, to electrocute the ugly, for the execute the love, intensifying the line that laid to become led to slay. Slippery sled for the web, for the bride, the bread that bacon to bake. Men the bakeries that yeast to rise, the vacation the brown butter, but even for the Caucasian the persuasion invasion, for the patience the medication, your meditation, for your mediator to follow immediately. See what's the dilated pupil, the people, the seat with the pink eye, the caught was clear to clear off with irons. Cloudy rowdy of the crowds of the prayer proudly. Past the being accepted for the what? Society likes to lick the cow tongue to clean the plate for the pilot who aired all the dirty laundry all over the town, and who told otherwise smothers for the some demises, you know. Promise to compromise, to organize, to vibe like the organs, to cry the walls, to hear them for the melancholy holy mission for the march to gospel. The light, the dark of the seas, the shoreline, the moon waves goodbye as if it was proud to see the leaves, to see the weed high tides. This a low pride that will wash your life back to bacteria that baptizes delirium, the serious serenades. Emotions that grenade gradually more than annually, for the automatically for your manual. Man anticipates daily strides to try insane anxious. Amounts of suppressing for you with the pain to justify this vein crucified for the suffer supplements for the subtle changes that are needed for the rapidly rationale, for the nationality, for the casually pacifists, to face the passion for the smashing of the hate. Discover the dust, the covering over the dust that they found the dawn elixir. Liquid to that, the problem fixer for the fixated for the both sides, and nothing means just meant for this to be nice and not meant to shit on the sit over the porcelain seats of the stadium to cheer on your side. Rally for another protest to fail. Standards of the advancing in the same grade height to mountain the faith that this can't move for the marching over the requesting and the denied. The smell of the rose dipped in the love for the rebirth of the garden, soiled with smiles of gratitude and lighthearted stuff that completes the
For the rebirth of the garden, soiled with smiles of gratitude. The smell of the rose dipped in the love for the rebirth of the garden, soiled with smiles of gratitude and lighthearted stuff that completes orbits to galaxies, the voice like breeze in unventilated rooms, and the touch of subtle waters of the light that rays. Photosynthesis.
The smell of the rose dipped in the love for the rebirth of the garden, soiled with smiles of gratitude and lighthearted stuff that completes orbits to galaxies, the voice like breeze in unventilated rooms, and the touch of subtle waters of the light that rays. Photosynthesis for your royal golden days, for the bronze gratification, for the devalue, for the sacred gestures, and the longevity, for the future timetables that greater the baby the heaven again. The feeling that arrives before she sent my heart to the blossom, the sight, the witness, the captivated for the immediately swoon. Tiny animated environments, the words meant to bring the color to black and white boards, for the time to kill the rise of the third eye was to claim the will call my name. My heart is beat up for the oppressed love and unexplained conflicts to complicate the date for the fate. The feet of the fragile, the petals to expedite your union to ours and yours, and maybe she'll convince the dandelions the truth. The congestion that was in its throat that couldn't blow out the wish to soar, the healing of the breath of the heirs of the kingdom that will be. Done as came like a train for tracks to cross rail. Rolls a trail by foot, but each measurement sure meant to be sure to vow wild. Silently for the now loud and flow. Heard like flowers and windy days, or Wednesdays like this as memories fade into the noise of the poison to provide with a look in the eyes of the spies that cry when try to die. Happy to straight the gate to pay for value, the forward where the God is designed and aligned. Coexisted, co-signing line that was crossed when sins lost the cost when Yahweh crosses the heart. Be exalted for the carrying the false that shook the groundwork to the love of the valley of shadows. Light work that didn't break the sweat, but sweet enough to task the axe to treat the heat to beat the body. The tone to this, the better for the bitter thoughts that was the call to release the words of the plain. Sight of the eyes of the witness to testify the passive, the quest to answer the belief of the stretch divine, to suspend your gravity for the weeks to weekend, the picnics to bear. Kicks the grass to barefoot like keychain. Charms for the arms, a talisman for the shortcoming that took long to provide the rays in the area that aren't arranged to articulate the time, the calculation, the collisions. Weren't no accident, but a relative to the Einstein's theory, not for the weary tested eyes, dotted for the crossing of the T's, the teens stretched out like blind huggers of the mud your depression. Finger pressed nerves to stress the verbs of the violent, for confessing of the words of the message that was scribed with the Messiah for the message of age of this is a mess. Massage of males, misogynistic for the stamp to center for the return to red, this bloody transmission to translate the fiction to quake to fret. Petition over the pet peeves to deceive. Believers to proceed without the water for the life, for the right on to the draw the conclusions, the decision over the television ain't true, the sisterhood, and give you a book to program the misguide. You tune out of the idols and to meet the ideologies that apologize. Repeatedly oblivious with the contagious repetition of patterns and look back into the distractions to detract the narcissism for the wisdom that would work. Much to the compound words of the oxymoronic dumb wise, I advise your adverb. Perv to the nerve to swerve the curves of this gutter to the climax and maximize the circumstances for the circumcised the pineal glands that gladly glory. Gladiators to electrify, to rectify the vibe that electrocute the ugly for the execute the lovely, intensifying the line that laid to become led to slave. Slippery sled for the web, for the bride, the bread that bake it to bake. Men the bakeries that yeast to rise, to occasion the brown butter, but even for the Caucasian the persuasion invasion, over the patience the medication, your meditation, over your mediator to follow immediately. See what's the dilated pupil, the people that see with the pink eye, the call was clearly clear off the airs, or cloudy rowdy to the crowds and the prayer proudly.
The smell of the rose dipped in the love for the rebirth of the garden, soiled with smiles of gratitude and lighthearted stuff that completes orbits to galaxies, the voice like breeze in unventilated rooms and touches subtle waters of the light.
The smell of the rose dipped in the love for the rebirth of the garden, soiled with smiles of gratitude and lighthearted stuff that completes orbits to